What's going on, everybody? I'm Brad.
I'm Miguel.
And welcome back to Let's Talk Movies, our 57th episode. We are talking our most anticipated movies of the year. We are officially at 2022. Huge year in the movie and entertainment world. There's a ton coming. Big year for all of us horror fans. The Black Phone, Jordan Peele's Nope. We also have, of course, Halloween Ends. We also have Scream, which just debuted to, I believe, a $3.5 million opening, which is a pretty big deal. So Scream's kicking some butt. Also, transformative year for Marvel and DC as well. There's a lot going on. Marvel and DC are kind of both transforming into a new. They're going through the whole butterfly effect here. The cocoon is beginning to split, and they're starting to become something entirely new. So
yeah, one's turning into a butterfly, and one's turning into a nasty moth.
You're not wrong, dude. Yeah. And that's something we're going to talk about a little bit today too. Not a whole lot, but we'll save the whole DC discussion for another episode. But good morning, everybody. And Miguel, how you doing, buddy?
I woke up 2 minutes ago. No, I'm kidding.
That's a good thing. I'm glad to hear that you woke up.
Yeah, right.
Oh, Evil Has a Destiny is here. Says, good morning, guys. What's going on? Good to see you in the chat. It is 10:43. We're coming in a little late, but has anything changed? We're always a little bit. I mean, when are we not a little bit late? So
yeah, exactly.
Just a little teach, just a little bit. So Kentucky's supposed to get rocked by a winter storm this weekend. Again, for the second weekend in a row, Kentucky's supposed to get rocked. So we are.
Bro, can you give me a weekend, God?
Please, God, please. But we last week we got slammed.
We didn't get slammed. We got fucking railed.
This one's going to be a little bit different because it's like spaced out over 2 days. Mm-hmm. But there's still, and the forecast is a little bit weird because some forecasts say like 2 to 4 inches. Some forecasts say like y'all about to see a foot of snow.
Yeah, or you're gonna see a couple feet. No, we're not gonna see our feet.
No. So yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen, but we went and got our you got to get your bread and milk. I think of the is it Vince or Vic DiPotetto video? I think it's Vic. He's a comedian, and he's got that video. The guy he runs out of his house and he's got his car keys and he's like, I gotta get my bread and milk. I gotta get my bread and milk. And he's like freaking out trying to get in his car. That's how Kentucky is, man. That when we get a big snow, because Kentucky's kind of on that weird line.
No, here, look, when Kentucky gets a fucking giant ass snowstorm, we lose our fucking minds. It's dumb as shit. We think the world's ending, and we think bread and milk is what's gonna save us. I can't think of one thing that we can make with bread and milk right now. So I'm sorry if I'm dumb as fuck.
It's universal though. You need bread and milk for like everything. I think that's the issue with it.
Bro, one is gonna give me bowels problems, and the other one is just it's just cheap protein, I guess. I don't fucking know. I know that I know you're in like Kentucky, like every single Kroger known to man is gonna get slammed like clickless. I saw a picture of some guy's clickless, and it was like just a shit ton of fucking cars. I was like, dude, get out of your car right now. It's not snowing yet.
Last night, people were putting on Facebook. They were like, don't go in Kroger or Meijer right now. Like, it's not worth it. Like, because of how long the lines were. People were waiting in lines for like 20 minutes just in Kroger. So Evil Has a Destiny. I'm getting 2 to 5 inches in Pennsylvania. 2 to 5 inches. I think that's kind of where we're at in my area. Miguel lives about 50 minutes to an hour south of me, and you'll probably get, I think you guys are in like 6 to 8, I believe.
Fuck you.
So I don't know. We're not that much less than you.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, no, literally, like
Eastern Kentucky they're the ones who are gonna get like a foot.
Where I was last week, since where I'm living at, we got shit faced with the snow, and Brad's over here. He just got like we didn't get anything in there. They didn't get jack shit. Dog.
It's weird. Like last week's snow, if you weren't like straight up in the line, like if you weren't like in the heat of it, you didn't get anything. Like it was nothing. 7 inches, and it came in like 4 hours. So, the Oct is in the chat. He says, "What's up, guys? What's going on, buddy?"
Hey, buddy.
272 days until Halloween ends. Oh my god, man!
I'm curious.
It's going to be on our list.
That's going to be on our list.
We're getting ready to talk about that. And we are going to do a whole episode. I know I've said this before. I'm just trying to kind of we're trying to stay more on top of our shows on what's coming next to kind of let you guys know. And we are going to do a Halloween Ends episode, not our next episode, but in the near future. Maybe around the time it's supposed to start filming, because I know it was supposed to start, I think, this week or last week. And in a cameo video, James Jude Courtney said that I think he starts filming February 10th or something like that for his part. Now, that doesn't mean that like production actually begins, like their filming schedule begins on February 14th or 10th or whatever. But so we'll see. We're going to talk Halloween Ends at some point, because there is getting to be a lot to talk about. There's a lot more information that's come out. Not a ton. I mean, we don't have a ton of stuff, but we are going to talk Halloween Ends. Our next episode, I will say this, our next episode, I believe we are going to talk all of the rumors and the crazy speculation, all of the cameos for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, because I must say, that is a film that is completely piquing my interest more than I originally thought it was going to be, because this multiverse thing.
Yeah, you thought the multiverse thing was insane with Spider-Man No Way Home. Boy, wait till you hear all the leaks and news with this one.
I thought it would be a smaller arc. Like, I thought it would be not a Thanos level. The entire saga builds to this moment. Yeah, and it's looking more and more like the entire next 10 years of Marvel.
Which is odd, because it doesn't look like it. The
first 10 years built.
If you get what I'm saying,
right? It looks like it's the beginning. I think Spider-Man No Way Home is like the prequel multiverse stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
And like, this is like Multiverse of Madness is going to be like the meat. Like, we're getting into like, stuff is starting to go down. So,
yeah, like No Way Home was like the antithesis of all the Spider-Man franchises. Right. But in reality, to the grand scheme of things, it's just a prequel to what's to come. It's like, dude, let me have some breathing room. No.
Well, and we've heard too that like everything, and I say we, not us, as a collective. If you follow Grace Randolph, any of the other leakers on Twitter, there are elements of everything that happens in No Way Home and Loki and WandaVision, and there are things that like it's all going to kind of start looping and making sense. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But let's hop on into this. So let's talk our most anticipated movies of the year. We were going to do individual lists, and we were going to both read off our lists, but we both started
figured out.
We started talking a little bit, and we were like, I feel like our list is going to be very similar, and like with like small minor changes. So we kind of compared our lists and we talked, and it was a lot more similar than we thought. So we just have one big list of both of our most anticipated movies of the year, and we have a couple of honorable mentions as well. So let's start out with our honorable mentions. First one I'm going to bring up is Avatar 2. Now, here's the deal.
Dang, ain't that a bitch? It's not even on the list, hoes.
It's really not. And I know a lot of people it's on the list. I'm sorry. I'm using the blue theater background right now too. I am not. Look, it may have been too long ago now that I've just completely lost interest, but for whatever reason, man, I am not super stoked for Avatar 2. And that might change my mind. I mean, look at that. I mean, it's going to be a visual masterpiece. I mean, and I will say that the effects are going to be sensational, without question. There's no question. It'll win Academy Awards and whatever for looking the best and sounding the best. It's going to be great. But here's the thing. The original movie didn't like blow my socks off. I mean, we've talked about this on the show before. It was a spectacle piece. It was, holy crap, this is the best CGI probably since Peter Jackson's King Kong in 2005. If we're being real, it was incredible. But for whatever reason, I remember seeing that night. We were talking about snow. We saw that the week it came out, and we on a weeknight, and it was late, and it was one of those weeknights where you're up too late and you're just like, I gotta go to school the next day. And we got a huge snow. Like, it was snowing all the way home from theater, and then we were walking out of the movie theater, and as a little kid, that's like that's like the most exciting thing that could ever happen. So I do remember seeing it. It was fun seeing it. But Miguel, what are your thoughts on Avatar 2? I'm excited. I'll go see it. I'm curious. But I'm not blown away by it, by the thought of it.
I would pretty much say that, like, how can I put this? James Cameron's the one that's directing it, right?
That's his baby, man. That's apparently his baby. I think
so.
Unfortunately, I think he sat in his house writing Avatar like 29 for the last 10 years.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, I feel like that train has already left the station for a lot of people. Like, yeah, people are gonna be excited to jump right back in, but like, we were wanting a sequel like fucking years ago, and when you spend too long like trying to like make a movie, like, it just it just loses its luster. So yeah, was it a visual masterpiece? Absolutely. CGI was top notch. It's still to this day. I mean, it's kind of aged, but you could still like account it for something that could have been made like recently. So that's exciting to see, like, how much more they're going to push the boundaries in regards to like the CGI and the production of making this movie. But I mean, in the grand scheme of things, like, the story is not different from the first one. It's not all that original. So I'm curious to see what they're gonna do in this one. I swear to God, if they take any type of thing from Waterworld, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Well,
because that's already a masterpiece on its own. So it's like, dude, like, pretty much what I'm saying is Avatar, these sequels of Avatar should have came out a long time ago. Because there's so much more in the cinemas right now that we're all excited for. That, yeah, it makes us more excited, but it's like, it's now just like a pin in the haystack. You know what I mean?
Well, and like, I know, correct me if I'm wrong, if you're listening now or if you're listening after the fact, but I think James Cameron said that the earliest cut of Avatar 2 could be like 6 hours. Like, there's enough there's enough plot to make like a 6-hour movie and something. And I'm just like, I don't need a 6 hour. You know what I mean? I don't need 6 hours of Avatar 2. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? And I know that I think there's at least four or five that he has planned. And I mean, cool. But again, honestly, I would have to rewatch the original. Like, I don't think I could walk into Avatar 2 and remember every character and everything that was going on. I mean, I remember, bits and pieces. But I don't remember all of it. So that would be one that I would kind of have to, I don't know. I would kind of have to recheck out the first one.
I could probably explain the entire movie in like 3 minutes. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm sure you could, but yeah. Again, it's on my honorable mention list, or our list, I should say. I'm excited. It'll be cool to see it. It'll be a cool spectacle event type thing. But what are you gonna do? So
yeah,
it is what it is. It'll be okay. Next on our honorable mention list, I threw this one on there, The Black Phone, with Ethan Hawke. This is a Blumhouse produced film. Looks very interesting to me. I really appreciate because you have your screams, you have your Texas Chainsaws, your Halloween Ends of the Halloween franchise. You have your big horror films that are franchise builders and that are a part of they already have a fan base. They already have an existing franchise that they're tied to. That's the reason Halloween 18 was the second highest grossing horror film of all time. You know what I mean? That's why Scream is doing so well at the box office and it's, second day. But I really appreciate when you have some of these standalone new horror projects. And that's why I really appreciate like what Jordan Peele did with Get Out, and with some of his films, because with
Get Out and Us,
Get Out and Us, it's something different. It's something new. It's somebody taking a chance on a new story. And I do, and I'll defend it till the day I die. I think horror is one of those genres that people are it's viewed as like something taboo, but you can tell a really well-crafted story even if it's a horror in a horror film. You can.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be all blood, guts and gore,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't have to be that. You can have a really good story. And the thing that draws me to The Black Phone is that it looks like a really well-crafted, freaky story.
Because I've only seen the trailer like once or twice, and that's with watching different. I think that was with what was it? That was with Spider-Man: No Way Home, and then
Halloween.
what else?
I think Halloween Ends.
Yeah, Halloween Ends.
That was
the only two we've seen.
or Halloween Kills. I
And
mean,
yeah, and what I could tell from the trailer, I mean, it looks like a pretty dope story, and it seems like a really original story. So like, I don't know, how can I best explain the trailer? It's like this kid gets kidnapped by fucking
by
serial
Ethan
killer.
Hawke.
Yeah, by Ethan Hawke. And
Ethan Hawke is a serial. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, and he's trapped in a basement, and the kid's being haunted but helped at the same time by the ghost of the killer's victims.
Right, and he's being helped, and it's kind of this kidnapped. The kid's trying to escape the psychopath in the mask type deal. So it'll be an interesting one. I don't really have anything else to say about that other than it's going to be a cool one to watch. We'll definitely have to do a review for The Black Phone when it comes out. Next up on our honorable mention list, we got a couple more of them. Is Black Adam. This is a character. Miguel, are you really familiar with Black Adam other than what we've heard from Dwayne Johnson?
I know probably like a little bit more past that, but other than that, I know that this movie is going to be a very how can I put this? It's going to be a standout movie in the DCEU at this time. I don't know where in regards because of the soft reboot they're doing, but I know that this movie right here is going to be something where they solidify Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's Black Adam as like one of the most powerful villains or anti-heroes in the DCEU. And it's a little frustrating because I am a fan of this movie because it's been like in production since like fucking Spider-Man Tobey Maguire 2000 and fucking I don't know, like it's been like in talks since that movie.
Really?
Or it's just been a while. It's been in talks. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's been cast as Black Adam for a long time, and it just so happens it's been filmed. So that's why it was such a big deal and like for DC to like advertise that. That's why Dwayne had like a fucking hour-long thing talking about the movie, and he said the reason why I'm not as excited about the movie anymore is because of the DCE reboot. Because it's like, where is this gonna fall into place? Yep. That's what sucks. Because I was so hyped for Black Adam, but I still don't know where he falls into the whole DCE universe. Because Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has said time and time again, like Superman, like eat your heart out. Like this is like I'm gonna wreck your shit whenever you come. But
I feel like The Rock wakes up in the morning and he's like, as soon as he opens his eyes, he's like, the hierarchy of the DCEU is about to change. Like, yeah, right. He has to throw it in like every single tweet, every single interview, like every single thing he says. The hierarchy of the DCEU is about to change. I'm like, bro, we get it. Like, I love The Rock. That's part of the reason I'm excited for Black Adam is because I'm like, okay, maybe this is going to be something positive for the DCEU because it's not looking very good. And we're going to come back to that in a minute. I have a couple other thoughts.
Dwayne "The Rock's" hierarchy of power is going to change comment is literally going to be based off of a technicality because Henry Cavill is just not there anymore. Like
exactly, and we're gonna come back.
It's like how Doctor Strange was like, I'm no longer the Sorcerer Supreme. Wong is.
It's like
technicality.
What? Yeah.
I was like,
I don't. And it's not even a technicality like in the plot. It's a technicality like because
in like studio productions,
direction. Like I don't understand. Real quick, Art Wishwood is in the house. He says, "Good morning. Are you guys drinking coffee, tea, or beer?"
Bro, this dude said not beer at fucking 10:30 in the morning.
I'm not drinking beer. I have my cup of my 80s Coke cup of water. And I'm actually drinking coffee, and I'm not really a coffee dude, but I'm drinking coffee right now. So I can drink coffee. I can drink coffee if it's sweet. I have to load it up with like 2 tablespoons of sugar. or else I can't.
No, man, you gotta taste. You gotta drink coffee black. You gotta taste the depression in every single sip, man.
You sound like my wife. Julia drinks it black. She can't. She doesn't do sweet. Like this morning, we ate breakfast and she put some creamer in it. But like every once in a while, she put creamer. I can't. I like it black, or I like it sweet.
I about to say that was
black.
backwards.
No.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, I can't do black coffee. Can't do it. He also says Halloween Ends is my 22. And then he says I'll see the new Scream eventually. Yeah, I'd like to maybe see the new Scream sometime soon.
Am I gonna get lambasted if I say that I feel like that the story is gonna be like kind of the same as all the others?
I'll tell you what, I thought maybe this would be I don't know exactly. I didn't look into spoilers, but I've based on some of the non-spoiler reviews, I don't think it's hard to kind of gather what happened. Everybody said, for what I've seen, that the reviews are mixed, and that the reveal at the end of Scream is kind of like, oh, like why? Like it doesn't. I've kind of gathered what happens.
It's gonna be one of the kids, one of the fucking kids being the killer.
The reviews are kind of mixed. I thought maybe this would be the one where they really go hard in the paint and they just completely throw a wrench and do something crazy in that franchise. Because we've talked about this before too. I've never been a massive Scream guy. I appreciate the original. I appreciate everything they've done with the 4 Wes, honoring the great late Wes Craven. But I just don't. I appreciate it for what it is, but it's never been a Halloween or a Friday the 13th or a Nightmare on Elm Street for me. It's like second level tier for me. It's okay. I think it's
tier, bitch. Yeah,
I think it's a little repetitive, to be completely honest. And I know, shoot me down if I get it. I know some people love the Scream franchise, but it's not. I don't know what it is. I don't know. So we'll have to see. I don't know exactly what happens. But from what I gather, I kind of gathered what happens towards the end of the film.
Yeah.
Evil Has a Destiny, which, by the way, is an awesome name. Completely awesome name. Awesome profile pic as well. I know that's Ghostface, but I've been more involved of Michael Myers. Yeah, I've always been a Michael guy. I mean, I'm wearing my Kills shirt right now. That's always been my number one franchise, and I do appreciate other franchises as well. I mean, I'm an all around horror guy. I mean, I have my whole shelf here of all my horror films. But Scream was just not. I think it's repetitive. I think it's kind of like, how many more times can you tell that same story? And I thought
maybe who the killer is. Yeah.
I thought maybe this would be the film that took risks, that maybe you kill Sydney, maybe you make Dewey the kill, maybe just do something to make people's jaws drop, but I'm not sure that they did that. And again, I'm not saying they have. I haven't seen it yet. That's not a spoiler because I don't know. But we'll have to see. We'll try to watch it at some point this week. I know with the weather coming in, with everything going on, we're busy too. So we'll try to get there at some point.
Yeah, eventually. And honestly, like if I had to describe, compare, obviously it's tough to compare those two, but I don't know. With Ghostface, he seems like, he's obviously just an individual. So it's not like, if some guy in a mask came into my fucking house, we live in Kentucky. So that game is over before it even started. You know what I mean? But if Michael Myers came through, it's like, yo, nothing you have in your arsenal is going to take that guy down.
Yeah.
So it's like, there's a little bit more of a legitimate fear with Michael Myers than there is with Ghostface. Because at least, even though Ghostface is wearing a mask, he has a personality. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, he gets under your skin. He talks to you. He wants you to be. He gets off on you being scared. Michael is just he just does things. He's not.
Yeah, he says, "You're just a pound of flesh I want to cut."
There's not necessarily emotion behind what he's doing. He just.
And that makes it 10 times more scary.
Breathes, he kills. Evil dies tonight. Sponsored by Blow. No, I'm kidding.
Okay. You've been sending me all of those. You sent me one that was like there's like a meme going on with like Seinfeld where like you know how like Kramer kind of like opens the door and it's like a red room, and when Kramer opens the door, it's like
Jerry
it's
says,
Tommy. Yeah, and he's like, evil dies tonight. It's like, fuck.
He goes, evil dies tonight, Jerry. I like the one. It's No Way Home when Ned is opening the portals or whatever, and he opens the portal, and it's Michael standing on the porch with the halogen, with the house burning behind him, and MJ's like, "Oh my God, Ned, close it." And he says, "I'm trying," and it's Michael standing there in the portal. I texted that to my parents, and I said, "Somewhere in an alternate universe."
I know, right? Ned be the dumbass to bring Michael Myers into the MCU.
Oh man, maybe that's how we make our millions, man. Not that we're trying to. Michael Myers kills the Marvel universe.
Oh my God!
It's like Deadpool kills the Marvel universe, or the Punisher kills them. Michael Myers kills the Marvel universe. Art says, "I love Seinfeld. I own the box set." Yeah, my parents are huge Seinfeld fans. So I grew up watching Seinfeld.
I didn't grow up watching Seinfeld, but I love Jerry Seinfeld's comedy.
He's hilarious. He's hysterical.
He's fucking great.
He's hysterical. There at one point, I don't. When was this? This was probably 5.
Are you gonna tell me you've seen Jerry Seinfeld on live?
No. Oh, I haven't. But where we went to college.
Oh yeah, Jerry Seinfeld he came to EKU,
a Center for the Arts at EKU, and it was Jerry Seinfeld and Ray Romano at the same show, and I was like, I bet that is the funniest thing you could ever see. Like the two of them are so dry, and they're so
dry. See, that's a perfect way to explain it. They're so dry, but it's funny.
But they're hysterical. Like I feel like they would play off of each other so well. And it's cool because there's actually a picture in like being a music major. Like I've played on that stage. Both of us who played on that stage before. And there's actually a poster in there. Like in the EKU Center, they have posters of everybody who's performed there. I mean, like Aretha Franklin's been in there. There's been a ton of different, Trans-Siberian Orchestra, a ton of different people. And there's a poster of Ray Romano and Jerry Seinfeld on stage, and both of them have signed it. And I was like, man, that would have been hysterical. Like, I wish I could have been there to see that. Art says, I've warmed up to Everybody Loves Raymond. I love Everybody Loves Raymond. It's a good show, man. I've always thought that one was funny. And even, what's the spinoff one with Paul Blart? What's his name?
King of the Streets?
No, not King of the Streets. God, what's it called? I gotta look it up.
That's the one's Kevin. It's is it Kevin James? I think that's his name, right, guys?
The King of Queens. That's what it is. The King of Queens. Yeah,
I got it. King of the Streets.
I know. King of the Streets. King of the Streets sounds like Kingpin.
No, King of the Streets is like something Future would say, like on a rap album. He says, "I'm King of the Streets."
King of the Streets sounds like a pimp.
Yeah.
Like the King of the Streets. The hierarchy of the DC universe dies tonight. Oh my God.
Golly, at one point it may. Let's just get ready, guys. It may die.
If we're gonna have Michael Myers kill a universe, have it be a universe, because we'll come back to that. Our next, I keep saying my next one, like this is my list. This is our list together. We're together on this.
That's next fine. One, this is the first person a white person takes over a colored man's idea. I went there. Boom. No, I'm kidding. Anyways. Anywho.
I hate you so much. Oh, I that's just
I love how when that video comes out, it mutes me because I was going to say some shit. There you go.
Oh. All right. Next one on our list, our last honorable mention before we get into our true top 10 list. Hi, I'm Tony Knoxville. Welcome to Jackass.
I love this so much.
I do too. I love everything about this poster.
Yeah, because Johnny Knoxville looks so gray.
Bro, they look old. When I first saw the trailer, like I guess I hadn't seen them in a little while. I think I speak for both of us. I was a huge Jackass fan when I was a kid, and I think every teenage boy was a Jackass fan, just because like I mean I can remember like binging all of the Jackass related shows, like watching the TV show, watching the movies, watching Viva La Bam, watching Wild Boys, like all of those old MTV like Jackass spinoffs. I don't know. It was I used to love it, man. So I'm hyped that we're coming back. I would think this is going to be the last one.
You think that, but it's going to be until one of them fucking dies on one of these things, dude.
I know.
They're going to keep going until one of them dies, and like, you know what? We should probably stop.
Well, and I know there's a couple of new people in there too. We've talked about this. Bam Margera is not in Jackass Forever, which is a shame because of everything going on with him. But I think all of them came back except for Bam, and of course Ryan Dunn, who passed a while ago now. That's been years.
Yeah.
But I love Jackass, man, and I love the some people never learn. Some people never learn tagline. It's gonna be a good one, man. February 4th. So that's right around the corner.
It is, ain't it? That's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, I'm super hyped for that. So let's get into our top 10 list. These are kind of semi in order, at least for me. They're pretty close to being in order for what we would like to see. So at number 10 on our list is Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Now, I know that there's kind of a lot going on with this movie right now. I know Letitia. Letitia Wright said a couple of things that I think were not cool, or at least that Disney and Marvel were not cool with. I'm not going to get into the political conversation right now. But there's kind of been a lot going on, even with the fact that that Chadwick passed so suddenly and kind of unexpectedly. So there's a lot of questions going on with this film right now.
Yeah, and this would have been like higher on my list, but it's just the fact that we've seen so many like fucking production issues that's been going on. Also, Letitia Wright, obviously with the passing of Chadwick Boseman, and just the way like my guy, the director, is just getting like shafted left and right, and he just wants to tell a good story at this point. And obviously, he was given like a tough hand because at first they were like, "Please don't recast Chadwick Boseman," but now they're like, "Just put him as something."
You and I talked about this not very long ago, because when Chadwick first died, I remember there was this huge push to not recast him, to make it an organic, like make his death organic in the grand, like in the greater story of the MCU. And of course, everybody was like, well, they're going to do what they did in the comic books when T'Challa died. They're going to give it to Letitia Wright's, what's her name? What's his sister? Shuri. They're going to give to, I almost said Okoye. They're going to give to Shuri. But then, of course, there's COVID happened, and then the things with Letitia Wright happened. Now I saw a few days ago, she is back on set. They are continuing filming. I guess his production is resumed. So I assume Letitia Wright is still continuing in the role then?
I don't know.
If that's what they do.
Well, there was even a report that I read
that she's not.
No, I read a report. Yeah, I read a report that what's his name? The gentleman that plays M'Baku in Black Panther. They said that he's negotiating a pay raise on his contract because his role is going to be much bigger than before. So what is that saying? Does M'Baku become does he end up holding the mantle? Because again, he became the protector of Wakanda on a technicality. So like where do we go from there? Like there's
happening on technicalities.
I know, right? But it's like it's hard for me to to pinpoint the story that's going to happen. Like I know the main villain is going to be Namor and all them, and it's going to be all about Atlantis and all that bullshit, but in regards to like who we want to see, like the protagonist, like we still don't know what it's about. Like,
right?
Would it be better just to have like the movie be about like Wakanda itself and the people of Wakanda instead of just having it be primarily about Black Panther? Like who? I can't really figure out because of the production issues of it. And
well,
if it wasn't for that, and if it wasn't for the passing of Chadwick Boseman, this movie would have been much higher on my list because Black Panther was like one of my favorite movies in the MCU line. Obviously, it's not like the best, but it's it's one of my favorites.
It's one of the better origin stories, I would say, or not. Yeah. Or it's not really his origin story, but it's in a way.
It's one of it. It's one of the better. It's one of the best. Yeah, it's one of the best standalone like MCU entries.
I would agree.
I would agree.
For me, there's a few things we know. We know that part of this movie is going to deal with the fact that T'Challa has opened Wakanda to the rest of the world. We've kind of seen that a few times in passing in the MCU since Black Panther, since the events of Civil War and Infinity War. But we also know, obviously, the whole conversation of who will take on the mantle is kind of at the top of everybody's mind when we're talking about Wakanda Forever. But there's also, I've also seen a little bit of a push for people to be like, give Killmonger like a legit, like a retribution type story or a character arc where he could possibly even become Black Panther, like what's the word I'm looking for here? Kind of a redo of his character, a
reboot.
Not a reboot, but a comeback story for him. Give him a comeback story where he kind of becomes the hero. He honors T'Challa and Chadwick Boseman's character in becoming Black Panther. So I don't know what they're going to do with that.
Yeah.
But there have been
talks of him being like, oh, okay. I was going to say, go ahead.
There have been reports that Shuri is not going to be the Black Panther moving forward. So,
and it honestly makes sense. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, because like, let Shuri just be like the ingenious tech wizard that she is. Yeah, like the woman in the woman in the chair, and just let her do that, and just like have someone else like pretty much take hold of the mantle because. I don't know. Like, obviously, it's gonna get political with their fucking anti-vax statements. So, like, it's kind of like, well, what do you want to do, Marvel? Do you want to like play the card and see how well she handles it, or do you just want to pull back and cast someone else? And there were I heard reports that they were talking like putting like a T'Challa variant, where a Black Panther variant, where maybe Michael B. Jordan grew up in Wakanda.
I just rolled my eyes so hard.
What? You don't like the variants?
I don't know if I don't like. Not for this. Not for this.
You kind of have to for this.
I don't want a variant for this. This needs to be an organic. This needs to happen organically for me, at least. I mean, could somebody else be a variant? Could you get a Will Smith variant of T'Challa that's like?
No, I wouldn't want him as that either.
I mean, no. I'm being facetious here. But I mean, could you get a variant of T'Challa that could be anybody? Yes, you could. But should you get a variant that's just anybody? No. I feel like either make it Shuri or make it Killmonger or make it Okoye even. Make it somebody close to him that will honor T'Challa's legacy. Like, I feel like that needs to happen organically. I don't want it to just be somebody that just like swoops in and is like, whoop, I'm Black Panther now. Surprise, finger in the butt. Yeah. Like, I don't want that, and then there's also the whole question of moving forward. There's a lot. This movie is supposed to have a lot of big implications for the MCU as we move forward, namely with the introduction of Namor and the Atlanteans, because obviously there's a big rivalry between Atlantis and Wakanda, but also if we're starting to talk about the Illuminati and we're starting to talk about some of these multiversal secret wars level things going on here, Namor is a famous member and a very important member of the Illuminati. So I think that's kind of this movie's going to be a big one for the MCU. And like you said, it's getting hooks to the jaw left and right in terms of like COVID, in terms of just so many different factors are making this movie a huge point of discussion. So definitely on our top 10 list, definitely one that we are going to be watching.
I'm keeping my eyes on, because I just want to. It's not that I want to be like spoiled of like how the movie's gonna go. I just want to know they're not fucking struggling with it.
Well,
because almost every single report is okay, here comes another right cross to the jaw. So let's see what happens with this. So
and it's interesting because like there hasn't been a whole lot on it either, you know? That's why I think that's why there's so many questions. There's been no even the and I know it's still in production. So there's only so much. I mean, it's been announced. We had Kevin Feige's little spiel at Investor Day 2020, almost, a year and a half ago. But I don't know. There's a lot of questions for Wakanda Forever, and there's a lot of questions about how it'll impact the MCU. So definitely a top 10 contender right there. Next one, another Marvel project, which is going to be a theme in this. Fortunately, because Marvel's doing it right. Let's be real. I know a lot of people are like, whatever, screw Marvel. Look. I'm not saying Marvel's perfect. But Marvel knows how to give Marvel fans what they want.
What they're throwing, they really do. You can't get mad at someone that throwing some dimes left and right.
They really do. I mean, I'm sorry, but when again, we're going to talk about the DCEU thing in a few minutes coming up here. But I don't know. But this is not an MCU specific one, but Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1. I actually quite enjoyed Into the Spider-Verse. I've seen it twice now. I was honestly, when the first one came out, I wasn't stoked for it. Like, I wasn't like, oh my god, like the Spider-Verse, all this crap, because I know some people were freaking out when this movie came out. But after seeing it a couple times, I really grew a pretty big appreciation for it. And my big question that I kind of want to run by you all in the chat, if you're watching after the fact, and I want to run by you, Miguel. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Is this going to pull a what if and somehow be connected to the MCU?
No.
You don't think so?
No. Why would you? I'm not going to lie. There's no point. I don't know.
Well,
because we've already had a Spider-Verse. It's just, I think Miles Morales definitely would be a key factor later on in MCU products. But I think this is just going to be its own story on its own for the time being.
I'm okay with that because they've told the story very well.
Yeah, this was the first movie productions about the Spider-Verse. Yeah, I would just take a picture.
You get ready.
This is the first puke. This was the first Spider-Man product that consists of the Spider-Verse, and they did it really well. And people were excited about this movie because Miles Morales was coming in, and Miles Morales is like, he's a household name in the Spider-Man franchise, just like how Superior Spider-Man is. They've grown to be like a household name in the franchise, and whenever they found out Miles Morales was going to be in it, everyone flocked to the fucking theaters because they were excited to see how they were able to personify him. Yeah. And they did a pretty bang up job. I'm not going to lie. I think with this one coming up, they're introducing Spider-Man 2099, I think is what it is. Yeah. So I think that's going to be really interesting with Miguel and Miles coming together. Obviously, they're going to duke it out a couple of times because, Miguel is a straight menace. But, I like Miguel because, we share the same name.
Well, and I think it's cool that they can tell a standalone animated story too. And, I mean, it has nods to the MCU. Like the first one had nods. It had nods to the Raimi trilogy. It had nods to the Amazing Spider-Man movies. It had nods to the current MCU. But it was still its own. It stood on its own. You didn't need the MCU. Whereas What If is cool, but if What If didn't have the MCU, it wouldn't make as much sense. You know what I mean? This is its own. It's its own thing.
Which even is interesting because What If had a great story on its own,
right? Too. Exactly, for sure. But in terms of the characters as we know them, you know what I mean? If What If was its own Marvel series in, I don't know, in the 90s,
we wouldn't have cared about.
It would have been impossible. We wouldn't
have cared about Black Widow or Vision,
right,
or Hawkeye for that matter. We didn't even know who the fucking damn, I forgot what the doctor's name was.
What?
The doctor in Winter Soldier. What's his fucking name? I forgot his name.
Oh,
Zola.
I don't remember.
Zola. We wouldn't have cared about Zola. Like, yeah, the whole story wouldn't have made sense in regards to us. Yeah, it would have been a cool story, but if we didn't have the MCU with the Infinity
backbone,
Saga, as its backbone, I mean, this show probably would have just fell through the cracks, honestly.
Yeah, I get it. Before we move on, Art says, Brad, you're perfect with the tongue. Thanks, man. Thanks, appreciate that. Did you? What was that slurp?
Hello, father.
Turkey gobble. Moving on. All right,
bro. I don't know why you have this on your fucking list. I was curious. I was like, why is this not an honorable mention? You literally took out. You put Jackass Forever as honorable mention, but you put this on the list.
Fuck, dude? This is on my list out of pure and utter curiosity. My expectations for this movie are at like a 2, maybe a 1.5. I am not expecting this movie to be great. The test screenings were, I don't think they were very good, to say the least.
They were not that well. Yeah, they were. It was not well received.
The constant stream of like no information. Then we randomly got a trailer. It was supposed to be a big theatrical release, which I'm sure COVID played into that to some degree. But now it's supposed to be a Netflix only film. There are so many factors that have made my when I heard they were doing a new Texas Chainsaw movie, and at first when they announced it, they what was the Face of Madness Returns. That was the tagline. There was a website, and you click on it, and it's like the Texas Chainsaw music, and it takes you through, and it just says 2020. I would guess it was supposed to be 1. It just says the Face of Madness Returns, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, or whatever. And it was like, oh, they're going to do another one. And then when we found out Sally was coming back, and it was going to be another original sequel to the original, I was like, dope. I was like, this is cool. This is sweet. I mean, I hope they don't do the same thing they did with Halloween, like carbon copy of it. But knowing everything we know, I don't have high hopes for it. It's on my top 10 list more out of curiosity than anything else, because the Texas Chainsaw movies, more than any other franchise, are a mixed bag. I mean, if you reach it's random. If you reach your hand in the bag and pulled one out, it could be great or it could be god awful. Like, that's the only 2 options. There's no like, it was okay. It's either pretty good or it's really bad. The original, great. I actually enjoyed both of the films in the 2003 remake with Jessica Biel. I almost said Jessica Alba, not Jessica Alba, Jessica Biel. That's actually one of my favorite remakes of all time of any genre. I think it was a fantastic remake. I thought it was really well done. And I actually didn't mind the Texas Chainsaw 3D. I saw that with our buddy Chris, actually, and my dad. And I was like, I know people dog on that movie, and it's cheesy as hell. Don't get me wrong. I mean, when she throws him the chainsaw after they find out they're related, she goes, do your thing, cuz. I'm like, oh my, shut up and let him kill somebody. Like, don't. I don't know. And it's like she throws him the chainsaw and she says, do your thing, cuz. And it's like that gave him the little extra boost that he needed to be like, oh. Like, you know what I mean?
We're up.
Like, yeah, I know. It's
like that.
It's like the Popeye thing where he's like, you know what I mean?
After he ate the spinach, yeah.
I don't know. It's just, it was very strange. So it's on my top 10 list just because I'm curious.
It's 50-50. It's a coin toss.
I don't even think it's 50-50. I think it's like 60-40. It's probably going to suck, but there's like a little sliver of hope that it might actually be okay. So
yeah, hope is a dangerous thing.
Hope. I'm even knocking my mic down, man. What are your thoughts, Miguel, on Texas Chainsaw? I know there's not a whole lot to even.
I think it's gonna probably blow. I mean, honestly, like even with Scream, I was a little hesitant, but it seems like it's holding up well. But with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, look, I know I got dogged on for not knowing his fucking name, but I mean, you can't dog on me on this franchise that just been like
Texas
shafted.
Chainsaw guy.
Yeah,
you're never gonna forget that, are you?
Yeah, you can't shaft me on that shit when this movie just been dogged on and just gotten the shaft on it for like fucking years. Like, until you give me like a decent movie, I'm not gonna like give it as much attention. No offense, guys. Like I'm sure the original was absolutely phenomenal. It's creepy, it's crawly, it makes me dirty as fuck. But I mean, it's just, the go get them, cuz it's just
do
fucking
your thing,
like
cuz.
you losing me there, man. Like Jesus.
Well, and then at the end of that movie, like I didn't think it was terrible. Like I own it. I don't mind watching it every now and then. But even at the end of it, she ends up like taking care of him. I don't know.
That's
like
weird.
they end up living together
That's
and being
weird.
okay, and like they're long lost cousins apparently that are just
like didn't he kill some of her friends? Like what
he
the
killed
fuck are we
all of her
getting at?
friends. He killed all of her friends.
Yeah, it's like where are we
But
going with
just
this,
suddenly
guys?
because she's got that little scar from where they're related, which
It's like, okay, you killed all my friends, but hey, we're brothers.
I'm gonna make you dinner every night.
Yeah, it's fucking weird, dude.
And even at the end, she goes to clean his wounds and whatever, and she goes to take the mask off, and he's like he just like stops her hand or whatever. I'm like, okay. Yeah. She goes to take the mask off to like clean his cuts or whatever, and he's like, "Don't touch me." Don't.
Yeah, see, it's just weird, dude.
Oh, I don't know. Art Wishwood, I am excited for TCM, even though I don't have Netflix. It'll probably be a typical millennial slasher flick, but I'm curious enough to see it because Leatherface is in it, and I want to see his evolution. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I'm curious about it, is because old man Leatherface. That's kind of interesting. I'm curious to see how we do that. Again, old man Michael is different because that can kind of be the same, just he looks older. Old man Leatherface is different because Leatherface has been...
He's a human being.
Michael's a human being, though.
But is he really? Again, it's like you say all the time. It's like, does he cross the threshold of supernatural? Literally, Leatherface is a human being. Like, he cut himself in the original with the chainsaw and he freaked the fuck out.
Leatherface acts like a human being, at least. Yeah. He has emotion. He has like a weird bag of emotions.
Yeah.
And he's been alone. If his family is all gone now and he's the last one, I mean, he kind of didn't know how to live without them. You know what I mean? So I don't know like what emotional state we're going to find him in. That's going to be an interesting one.
Like, what is it? Like, what is Leatherface going to end up? Is he going to end up like Old Man Rivers from Shawshank, where he's like bags the groceries? You know, like how he just got out of prison and he's trying to like assimilate to real life culture. Like, yeah,
things are different now. I don't like it here anymore. Or whatever he says at the end of I
Shawshank. Guess this world ain't good enough for an old crook like me.
Art says you guys should do a watch. Miguel.
No.
We should do a watch along the first time we watch it. First time live. Watching it live with everybody. First time. Because we can do it. Because it's on Netflix. We could watch it.
Oh my God. I'm gonna get so much hate if I'm drinking and watching that movie.
You're gonna be like, this sucks. Like flipping tables and whatever.
I'm gonna be ripping this movie apart, man. You sure you want that with alcohol in my body? I haven't been out in a while, so I'm clearly like a lightweight now. Dude, it's gonna be bad.
That would be fun. Vote in the chat right now if you want us to do a live watch along. The first time we see it together. Vote.
It's gonna be a wild ride. When does it come out again?
That would be cool. I don't even know. March, maybe February, March. I don't know. That's what who knows? who has any idea?
Let's see. Next tomorrow they're like, hey guys, just dropping because the movie's ready.
Chainsaw Massacre 2022 film.
Hasn't it been ready in forever?
I have Friday, February 18th.
Oh shit, that's next month, Chief.
Friday, February 18th. I don't know. We just might have to do that.
Oh my God. Okay, fine.
We'll see. Sierra says yes. We'll see. We'll see. Miguel, Art's got a specific question for you. If Leatherface came after you, would you run or fight?
Boy, I would put a tripwire and watch him cut himself to fucking smithereens because he's belligerent as fuck. You saw how he tripped and he cut his own leg. Like, dude, you're a bumbling idiot at this point. Yeah, the fear factor. Yeah, I'd freak out if he just burst through the door, like in the original one where the door just kind of slid open and you just see this big burly man with a fucking hammer. I'd probably die. But if he's chasing me after in the woods, Okay, I've been chased by cows in the woods, and that's way more scarier than a guy in a fucking chainsaw.
Hold on, back up. You've been what?
You've never been chased by cows?
What the hell have you? That's the most Kentucky thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
That's coming from someone that's from fucking Boynton Beach. Like, the fuck out of here, dude. Like, yeah, if you're from Kentucky, you got your, you've dealt some,
This is the first. Listen, we've been friends for a decade, and this is the first time I've ever heard of you being chased by cattle. I mean, go explain. You can't just leave that. Just like throw that on the table and leave it alone.
Oh, okay. So we were just, we were just out there in the, yeah. You guys never had that experience?
What the hell?
I guess not. Well, I mean, I was out there, out on the farm and whatnot with one of my friends, and we were just, four-wheeling and shit. And we decided to, like, tie like a string. Yeah, they run and they're fast.
Yeah, they do.
They're fast as fuck, boy.
Don't they lean on you? Lean on me. I think they lean on you.
No,
don't like to hurt you. Like, I think they like they just like lean their body on you and like crush you with their weight.
I haven't experienced that. I've seen a cow go full throttle at me though. But like I was literally, so we got like this giant like pallet and we tied a rope to it and we started dragging each other on with a four-wheeler and we were having fun. But then we kept hearing stuff like, and we looked behind us and there was like a fucking cow just ramming itself right back at us. So we were like, I was like, Trevor, full throttle now. And I'm literally hanging on to a pallet while the fucking cow is literally like inches away from me, just like mooing its murderous throat at me. And it's like, yeah, it was pretty scary. It was late at night too, so you couldn't see the cow until it was like really up close to you. So I was holding on to dear life while that guy was like going like 30 miles per hour, and the cow just, he got tired of us. But yeah, that was a scary feeling. That's more scary. I'd find that more scary than a fucking Leatherface coming after me with a chainsaw. I'm sorry. Did that get really country right there? I guess. I don't fucking know.
I ain't know what you're talking about.
But yeah, so pretty much, yeah. I'm more scared of a cow running after me than a fucking Leatherface. No offense. Like, I'm sure you guys are gonna dog me again in the chat. Like, yeah, Leatherface. Like, yeah, I could take Leatherface on. Fuck out of here.
Oh, okay. That was I don't know what to say. That was
also.
How did we even get? I don't even know how we got on that subject.
When Leatherface runs out of gas in a chainsaw.
Art's question.
When Leatherface runs out of gas in a chainsaw, like what else does he have? What is he gonna do? Throw it at me? Okay, what's that got? Like a good couple of feet of length?
All I can picture in my mind right now is like a horror movie scene. Like it's dark and you're just like you're running through the woods and you're breathing really heavy, and it's like the camera finally pans to reveal what you're running from, and it's just like a horde of cattle just like shit just chasing after you, like in the middle of like a dark forest.
Scary. You think that's not scary, but until you've experienced it, it's an entirely different. Yeah.
Listen, my aunt used to live behind a huge. I mean, we've never owned cattle, but like where my parents live now, they have cattle around them. My aunt used to live on this country road, and there were cattle, and I remember they had calves at one point. And
oh, you fuck with their calves.
Listen, we weren't different. We were in the backyard, like doing something, working. We were, I don't know, we were in the backyard or something, and we turned around and they had made like an arc. Like here was the fence. The cattle were like arced around their babies, like in front of the fence, like inches away from the fence, just sitting there. And it was like 20 minutes. They just sat there and stared. And I was like, this is kind of like, it's kind of making me uncomfortable. Like, I feel like I'm being watched because there were like 40 cattle just like standing there watching us at the same time. And they didn't move. They were just sitting there like.
You've never questioned your
literally
mortality.
For 20 minutes.
You've never questioned your mortality enough whenever you're being stared down by a murderous cow. I'm just saying, man.
And it's like, they could break through that fence. Like if they really charged you, like you're done. There's nothing you can do. Like
yeah, exactly.
It's over.
I don't know. Like and a cow could probably run like 25. I don't know, maybe 20 miles per hour. Like they can get up. They got calcium built up. They got fuel. So like yeah, look up videos of cows chasing after people. It's fucking scary because they're just trotting down with murderous rage. and they will fuck your life up. It's basically a female bull. Like, what the fuck else do we got, guys? Like, come on.
I'm also thinking
get on the same page as me, guys.
In Twister, when they're going, like, there's the couple water spouts when they're going over the bridge. Cow. When his wife, I forget what her name is, or the wife that he leaves for Joe. I don't remember what her. I think it's. I forget who it is. I don't remember.
You remember the movie Twister?
In Twister, yeah, when they're going over with the water spouts and the cows are literally like in the air, like in the Twister. I was actually thinking about that movie the other day. That'd be a good watch along. The Oct. If we're gonna change this is gonna be Let's Talk Cows. Like, that's gonna be the new name of the show. Cows are chasing you. All you have to do is move over.
That's a great pun. I love it.
Love it. Dig it. He probably has knives and hammers in his pocket. Who?
Oh, with Leatherface. Yeah.
I was like, wait, what?
The cow?
Like, what are we talking about here?
The cow has knives.
Could you imagine a cow just like?
Oh my god. Okay, yeah, I could see that. I could see Leatherface having that. Yeah, but again.
Oh, I love this channel.
He's just a blubbering idiot at this point, man. Like, I'm sure he's like ridiculously strong.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, I'm brown, I'm agile, I can get away. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Yeah.
Oh, people are gonna watch this and be like, "I'm unsubscribing." Like, I'm unsubscribing from this.
If you unsubscribe because you think I can, like, if you think I can't take Leatherface, and okay, bye. I can wreck Leatherface.
Oh, man.
Will wreck his shit.
I saw somebody commented the other day. We're getting way off topic here. Somebody posted, I think it was in Killer Flicks, maybe, or in maybe the Slaughtered Lamb page on Facebook. Somebody was like, who would win, like, in a legit one-on-one battle, Michael or Leatherface? And a lot of people, I would think Leatherface, because all he's got to do is swing that chainsaw and Michael's got nothing. A lot of people said Michael, though, because of how sneaky Michael is. Like, Michael's quiet and he's stealthy.
Bro,
like,
we've already settled that in Halloween Kills. A firefighter literally threw a fucking chainsaw at him.
Fair.
And Michael just grabbed that shit and turned it on his own.
About that. I did not think about that. And he turned quick. He was killing somebody else. And he heard that saw come up and he said, wait. And he grabbed the saw and, like, turned it back on him, man.
Michael dead ass was like, he took on like 15 firefighters with a halogen and just murked them all to bits. You think Leatherface is going to do jack shit? You think those butcher knives that he has in there? Michael's going to see that in his belt and you're going to be like, ooh, more toys to play with. Like, that's literally what he's going to do. He's going to do the bullshit he did in fucking Halloween Kills where he's like, more
where he looks at the knives, like he's like, oh, this is so sharp. He's like looking at it till it's like he's playing like a kid playing with their
I feel like because Leatherface is low key, he's like a kid. He's a kid.
Yeah.
But I know Hawkins was saying like he's a 6-year-old kid in a 45-year-old's body. Like, no, like he knows what he's doing. Like he has malintentions for everything he does.
He knows what he's doing.
He's at best, he's like a 16-year-old kid. And a 16-year-old kid can fuck up, a 16-year-old kid. He's definitely a 16-year-old kid. And I know Michael Myers can fuck up Leatherface. I know he could wreck his world.
See, like, that's something like I really liked about it. Like, I actually kind of dug Hawkins when he said, like, I forget exactly how he words it, but he's like, he's a 6-year-old man he's a 6-year-old kid in a grown man's body with the mind of an animal. And, in scenes where we kind of saw him almost being playful like that, where he was stabbing like different knives in the guy's back. And he was kind of playful with some of his kills. Like when he sprinkled the candy around the people in the park and he had them like hung up and with the masks on, that was cool. And again, I think they handled Michael perfectly in Halloween Kills. Like, perfect. My fear is that they're going to give away too much, like with the radio tower. I think they're going to give way too much in terms of explaining Michael. And I hope they don't in Halloween Ends. I hope they don't.
Michael Myers is triggered by the Reading Rainbow theme song.
I don't.
Butterflies in the sky.
I hope they don't actually make him out to be like a little kid, like, Sorry.
That's Jason.
I didn't know what I was doing. Like,
that's
you know what I mean? I don't want
like
that.
if you shoot Jason with a water gun, he becomes like that weird deformed little kid again. It's like, yeah, it's like that's his weakness. Like, yeah, Michael Myers is a 6-year-old kid in like a 45-year-old's body with the power of a fully grown bear, but I haven't seen a moment in him where he acts like he was scared like a kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's never really been scared. Even
Yeah,
when
he's never been
literally
scared.
he was he was trapped in the basement of a burning house. And when that guardrail went up, he was just like, "It's my time."
He was like, he literally said to himself, I just lost to 3 bitches. I'm about to wreck their shits in the sequel. Like, that's literally what he thought. So like, I've seen Freddy Krueger scared. I've seen Jason scared. I've seen Leatherface scared. I've seen Chucky scared.
You are not wrong.
But I've never seen Michael Myers once in my life where he was like legitimately fearful. Like, even Buster Rhymes roundhouse kicked him in the face.
5, he cries.
Was it?
That's kind of weird.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. He cries. Okay, he cries. He's sad. He's sad boy hours. But he wasn't scared. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not this version of Michael. This version of Michael is literally like he's
a tank.
He's just emotionless. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Like, yeah, I've like that's where like if Michael Myers had to like fight Leatherface, dude, Leatherface would get scared by the fact that Michael Myers is just unstoppable. Like, I feel like he would just sling the chainsaw, Michael Myers would catch it, and Leatherface would be like, "Well, roll credits, I guess." Like,
that's why I didn't like. That's why I didn't like this. This is just kind of we're on a whole can of worms here. In Rob Zombie's H2, that's partially the reason I didn't like the "I love you, mommy," like that whole storyline, because it was like you can't portray him as this soulless beast of a human being that is like a murderous psychopath, and then have him be like, "I just want to return to my mommy." Like, it just did. I was like, what? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. You know what I mean? You can't do that. You can't
humanize him in any way, shape, or form.
You can, but it's got to be in like small little doses. Like, you can't just you can't say, "Oh, he's human," or "Oh, he's supernatural." Like, even if they went ahead and made Jason or made Michael like a zombie Jason type situation, I wouldn't like that, because it's like, but he's supposed to, you're supposed to not know. It's supposed to be too ambiguous, too much in the gray area, that it's like, that's why he's scary, because it's like, who knows?
Yeah, it's like you take 1 step forward towards his humanity and then 2 steps back into his like ferocity. Like, it has to be like that. It has to work that way. Yeah, I get it.
And that's where like the more he kills, the more he transcends. That's like where that comes from. That's why a lot of the lines that Laurie and Hawkins both had in Kills were great. So I am a little worried about what they're going to do for Halloween Ends. The Oct, we are going to move on to our next one. I know we still have like 5 left in our top 10 list. If Halloween Ends disappoints, then people will ignore it, just like Resurrection from the H2O storyline. I don't think it'll be quite to the Resurrection standard, because I don't think Resurrection, even if they completely shit the bed, I don't think it'll be Resurrection level bad. I don't think we'll be that level. Resurrection is I
don't think Jamie Lee Curtis would allow that to happen. You know
Resurrection what I mean? Is the one movie in the franchise that I legit skip over. Just like Jason X is the one movie in the franchise I don't watch it. Like, it's so out in left field, and it's so whatever. I don't even have any interest in it. I don't think people will ignore it, but I think it'll definitely be a big disappointment, because I think, Sean mentioned this. People were kind of mixed about Halloween Kills. I was kind of mixed. On one hand, I loved it. On another hand, I was like, it wasn't as epic and as big and it didn't live up to my expectations, and that's partially my fault. Like, so many people have said, you have to tamper that. So it's partially on me, but at the same time, I think Ends has the which, Kills did something great in that I appreciated 18 more. And Ends has the opportunity to wrap the whole thing in a big bow and be like, look, this is actually a really good story. Here's why. But they mentioned this. Sean mentioned this on Fandom Empire the other day. There are a good 30 or 40 minutes of kills that are still on the cutting room floor that we've never seen, which is why that big old extended cut that they've advertised is not. It's like 3 minutes longer. It's not like the extended cut of Halloween Kills is not the real extended cut of everything that should have been in it. So I don't know. Would Halloween Kills have been a better movie if it was 20 minutes longer? I don't know. So I hope it doesn't disappoint. I really don't.
Yeah. And we literally had a conversation on fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I know. We completely went off the rails here. I know the chat's moving. Guys, we really, really appreciate you being in the chat and showing up this morning.
I know. I'm surprised you woke up around this time. Fuck. I had trouble doing
it. We really appreciate you being here. If you haven't already, please leave this video, leave the stream a like. And if you're watching after the fact, please be sure to do the same and leave this video a like, leave this stream a like, and share us with a buddy. So Evil Has a Destiny says, I've been thinking of where Michael will be in Halloween Ends. That's a big question.
And a cave.
The Cave Dweller working title. I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. Like I said, we're going to talk all of this stuff later on. And Halloween to 1981, at the beginning, he gets semi-startled by a dog. That's true.
Semi-startled. He gets startled. He doesn't get scared.
He's walking to the alley and he's like, oh, like he kind of does. He does do a little bit of a jump. I will say that he jumps.
Yeah, but it's not like a petrified fear. It's like, oh shit, there's a dog. And then guess what he does to the dog? He fucking kills it.
Well, he doesn't kill that dog though. He actually doesn't kill that dog.
The dog that startled him in the original?
No, in the first one, he kills Lester. But the dog in the second one, and to be fair, Loomis had just shot him 6 times and he had just fallen off of a balcony. So he's in pain. He feels pain. Let's be real. He does. But he also he was probably kind of that adrenaline. He's in shock at the same time, so that dog was probably I don't know. I don't know. Art says he's warmed up to Resurrection, but only because it's a Myers movie. I have not warmed up to Resurrection. Listen, once it's time, and it's coming up. I know it's coming up for our Purely and Simply Evil episodes. It's one of the last ones because we've already done Rob Zombie's films. We did commentaries for those because we did one of our earlier episodes of the main show was on Rob Zombie's H1 and H2. And we will we'll do Resurrection. That'll probably be our last one in the Halloween franchise. And we'll do that. We'll do some of the fan films. We'll still return. Who knows? In a year or two, we'll come back and we'll do this trilogy, the 2018 trilogy. Once it's done, we'll do the Rob Zombie films again. Who knows? But Resurrection will probably be the end of for right now of our Purely and Simply Evil Halloween episodes. And of course, we'll still always talk Halloween because the Ox says, I'm homesick with COVID. Oh, dude, man, that sucks. Nothing better than to hang out here. That's awesome, dude. Awesome.
I'm sorry you have COVID.
Not awesome that you have COVID. That's not what I meant, but awesome that you're hanging out with us. But yeah, man, we hope you feel better. That sucks. There's so many people that are sick with COVID right now. We know so many people that have COVID. So many people even in the school system, like where I work that have COVID. It's going around, man. So it's a shame, but we hope you feel better soon, man. Get some rest and drink some tea. drink something hot. And we hope you feel better, man. But we're really appreciative, seriously, of everybody hanging out with us today. You guys rock, and we're so thankful that you guys are showing up. We love it. So feel better, man. Let's see. Art says he killed Lester, but he didn't kill the H2 dog. No, he didn't. And yeah, that dog was chained up. That's probably why he didn't kill it, because it was chained up. That dog survived.
He's probably like, the dog's all right. He's not gonna hurt me.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't eat him for a power up.
Could you imagine he eats the dog? He eats the dog, and then it's just like his power bar goes boop, 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 boop.
Yeah.
It's like
isn't that what happened in the original? Like, he was like, dude, he ate the dog. It's like,
yeah.
Fuck.
Even in the flashback when Hawkins goes, there's a dog in here when they're in the Myers house, like looking for him or whatever. Oct, he says, thanks, I got the strain that's easy to deal with. I think just bored and solitude. Yeah, I've heard Omicron isn't too bad. Especially like if you're a vaccinated peep. Just bored and solitude. Yeah, I could imagine. And that's kind of what sucks. And that kind of even goes back to like when we started this channel, like everybody was at home. Everybody was at home not doing anything. And Mike and Jay just had their 10th anniversary. We watched a movie and they were talking about that. And Mike was like, it's sad, but like some of the best times that they had was during COVID when it first started and everybody was at home because everybody was hanging out. So
it's a good thing out of a bad thing.
Exactly. So hopefully we're a little bit of relief when you're trapped at home, man. But I'm glad that you're doing okay. That makes me happy to hear. So let's move on here. So that was all Texas Chainsaw talk. I don't even know how we stayed on that for so long. Next one on our list is Thor: Love and Thunder. Miguel, what are your thoughts for Thor: Love and Thunder?
I think this is going to be a really big change in Thor. I'm not going to lie, because they said major people are going to die. But that could just be Drax or whatever. But I don't think. I think they would hold. Yeah, I think they will hold Drax.
Thor will die.
Do
you think they would kill Thor and make Natalie Portman like the new MCU Thor? I don't see them doing that.
No, I could see that just being like a variant thing.
I think moving forward, Thor is going to be too important. You know what I mean? I think Thor and Bruce Banner and Clint Barton are going to be two. I mean, they're the three surviving Avengers. So like, I feel like I think they're gonna be too important to kill off. I don't think any of the three of them are going anywhere. I think Natalie Portman will probably just be an addition to what we have. And I will say, God, have you seen? There was a picture of Chris Pratt, because we know the Guardians are obviously going to be in Thor: Love and Thunder. There was a picture, bro. Fat Thor is gone.
Oh,
because Chris Hemsworth. I know. There was a picture of Chris Pratt with Chris Hemsworth.
Oh yeah,
fat
dude,
bro. He is jacked.
He is a fucking unit.
He is jacked.
Oh my god, what are they putting? What is James Gunn injecting my guy with? Like, holy shit, these guys are fucking.
He's Rock level big in this. I mean, I was like, dang, man, he is.
It almost looked like a gag for a second. It didn't look real.
His arms have like three sections to it. I was like, dang.
It looked like the SpongeBob episode where he got like the muscle things. And he's like,
he's got the blow up, and they're red. It's got like the red like the puff chest out, like the puff out veins and stuff.
Yeah, it's like, Jesus Christ, man, calm your shit.
So I'm super excited for what they're going to do with both of these characters. And it's going to be cool seeing Thor interact with the Guardians of the Galaxy. This is going to be one of the first intergalactic movies that we've had in this phase and in this saga, because most of what we've seen, WandaVision, Spider-Man No Way Home, Hawkeye, most of the stuff that's going on is taking place on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be cool to see what's going on in space.
Well, we had Eternals.
We did have Eternals. That's true. But it wasn't. Eternals was still its own thing, partially too. So I don't know. So this will be a cool one. I'll tell you what. I am stoked to the bone to see Christian Bale as Gore the God Butcher. That's gonna be dope. Do you know who Gore is?
Gore the God Butcher was some guy who's literally been like shafted. He was. I could put him as like Job, so
he's
to speak,
a great
like
character
in the biblical story where like he just gets shafted by life as a test of God, and Gore just ends up just getting shafted. He loses everything. He's like literally on his last 2 cents, and then
he actually, like, his thing is like all gods must die. Like that's basically like
and
he's one of Thor's biggest adversaries.
And
he
found some god that was
cool
like
looking.
So I don't know how he got his powers, but like apparently some 2 gods were fighting one another, and one of them gets like injured, mortally injured, and that god was like, if you help me, I will, do whatever you want. And Gore was like, fuck you, and kills him and takes his power. So, and then he's like, then at that point, he's like, all gods must die, pretty much.
Yeah, let's check this out, man. I mean, Gore, I wasn't planning on doing this, but I mean, like, he's a cool looking villain. Like, that's gonna be dope. And Christian Bale is a perfect choice. If you think like even American Psycho, like I think American Psycho, like for like his acting range and how dark and gritty he can go, I think he's a perfect choice for Gore.
Yeah. I think because he's just so versatile and all that stuff. He could play like a suave, psychotic man. And I feel like that could be him.
Dude, that is going to be dope. Like, honestly, he's the reason I'm most excited for Thor Love and Thunder, because dang, man, I love Christian Bale. I've always been a huge Christian Bale fan. So seeing him in that role is going to be pretty cool, man.
I'm just saying, though, Thor seems to be the only like god in that movie, and it's going to be kind of stupid for Gore the God Butcher to not at least butcher a god. Does that make sense?
Oh, but I think I don't know.
Why would he get his name if he didn't already like take down a bunch of gods?
I don't know. I mean, I'm curious to see how they introduce that character and like where he comes from and how much backstory we get on Gore. But that's gonna be a cool one. J Dead is in the house, buddy. What's going on, J Dead? Good morning,
friend.
Next on our list, and this is where we get wild sauce, and we are gonna have a big conversation right now.
What number is this?
This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. No, 6. 6 on our list is The Flash. Now, this is going to be a redefining film for the DCEU, partially to what you're seeing right now, not only in the Flash, and this is kind of going to be the live action adaptation of Flashpoint, but the sexy beast behind him, Michael Keaton's Batman from the Tim Burton universe, will be making a reappearance in The Flash as Bruce Wayne / Batman. There's been a ton of speculation, a ton that's come out about The Flash, about its implications. I truly believe, and as I understand it, they are using this movie to rewrite the MCU. Pretty recently it's come out, Ben Affleck confirmed this is going to be his last film as Batman, but he's also said that he thinks this film has some of the best Batman scenes in it of all time. And I don't know, man. What are your thoughts on The Flash? What are you hoping for in terms of what we get out of this movie?
Fuck, dog. I'm not too sure. I genuinely do not know. I don't, because the way they were talking about this Flash movie and how it's supposed to reboot a lot of things, it's like, yeah, I'm excited for it, but it's like, dude, we had something already. And I saw a picture. It was literally like, they were describing it as like, okay, imagine we just saw Avengers, the first Avengers, and they took down the Chitauri and they took down Loki. And all of a sudden, there was a portal, and it showed Thanos staring at the Avengers. And then they just up and rebooted the entire thing.
Well,
you know what I mean? It's like, imagine that. Imagine how pissed off we all would have been. And
I'm trying. I'm not just on my phone. I'm paying attention.
And I can
there's
agree.
Something I'm trying to find.
And I can agree with what J-Dead says right here is Flash would be like the No Way Home for the DC. And it could be game-changing if it's done right. I'm sure they're going to try to do it right. But it's a little bittersweet for me because it's like, fuck, dude, we had the Zack Snyder cut. And that was like the best reboot you could ever have for the DCEU. So
here's I'm not gonna keep trying to dig for this tweet, but I believe it was Grace Randolph had confirmed the rumor that and it may not be her. It may there's quite a few of these accounts that that are industry insiders that provide information. But the kind of the current train of thought and the current rumor that's going on right now is that in the Flash, this is the Flashpoint storyline. This is the introduction of the multiverse for the DCEU. And essentially, Keaton's Batman, his Bruce Wayne, ends up being, coming to the DCEU. Batfleck will die in this film. And Keaton's Batman will end up helping the Flash try to find a new Batman. I believe I don't have all the details. No, I'm not sure anybody has all the details for this, but this film is going to be the exit for Henry Cavill Superman and Ben Affleck's Batman.
And it's not even a good exit for Superman, because the footage we're going to get of Superman is going to be on a fucking newsreel on a TV. That's what we're going to get. That's all.
I haven't seen that.
There's literally reports saying, it's reports saying that the Superman footage that we're going to get in Flashpoint is not even going to be like new footage. It's going to be reused footage that's just going to be in a newsreel on a television station that they pan to. It's a shitty exit for the two main people in the Trinity.
Well, here's the thing. And I actually saw a tweet about this a while ago. If I can find them and release this as a standalone video, I'll include them. But there was a tweet that was like, and to kind of finish out what we were saying, this will be the exit for Superman and Batman as we know them. Keaton will not be the DCEU's Batman. Keaton will go back to his universe, but they will be replaced by Batgirl and Supergirl, or Batwoman and Supergirl. So basically a new Justice League will form of Supergirl, Batwoman, Wonder Woman, the Flash, and Aquaman, and Cyborg. I don't know if they're going to
Cyborg getting shafted too.
I don't know if they're going to include Cyborg or not, because
Ray Fisher,
they won't bring back the Snyderverse.
Fucked. Yeah, Ray Fisher's out, man. He is out. Ray Fisher's out. The only person that's staying is Flash and Wonder Woman. Oh fuck, maybe even Flash may die. I don't know at this point.
I hope Flash doesn't die, because I actually really liked him I liked him in Snyder's Justice League. There was a tweet. I wish I could find it so I could pull it up on screen. But here's the thing. Someone had tweeted out and was like, I'm a woman, and it's really, really cool that they're bringing Batwoman and Supergirl into the DCEU. But if they have to take out Batman and Superman in order to do that, it's like I would rather them not be in it. You know what I mean? Like if you're trying to, I don't know why they're trying to take Batman and Superman out. I really don't. But if they're trying to do this like power to the ladies thing, which I'm all for, by the way, I think that's amazing. I think that is, my thing is I feel like there's room for all of them. Like, why is there not room for Superman and Supergirl and Batwoman and Batman and all of these other different characters? Like, why can't you have it all? You know what I mean? Why does it have to be one or the other? And that's what I don't understand.
The whole famous quote, you can't have your cake and eat it too, Chief.
But why?
Because that's the rules, Dick. No,
I'm telling you, it's like it's been handed to them. Like you have some of the coolest comic book characters in existence at your fingertips, and you're just throwing them away.
Yeah.
Like
also,
I don't understand
Batman too. And yet they're not going to try to attempt him.
But that's my hope. I think that's too dark. My only hope for the DCEU, well, for DC, is the Batman. That's pretty much the only reason I still have a hand. Like, the other hand is dangling. Like, I'm not even trying to hold on. The only reason I have one hand left on the DCEU is because of the Batman. I will go see the Flash. I'm stoked to see Keaton's Batman back. But I just don't understand why they're doing the Supergirl Batwoman thing. I think it's cool. I'm not saying don't include Superman or Supergirl and Batwoman. Include them. I want them included. They're cool characters too. But you don't have to completely ditch Superman and Batman in order to do that. You don't have to completely rewrite all of the best films in your universe to do that. You know what I mean?
Not really.
I don't
They're
understand.
Not the best. They're not the best reviewed. If you look at the reviews,
I don't know.
Batman versus Superman, and what else was it? And the Zack Snyder cut, like, they don't have like top Rotten Tomato views, and that's partially our fault, I guess. Because I guess we just didn't like give it as much feedback as we wanted. I don't know.
I mean, like, for me, I was not. And again, it is partially. I am partially salty because of the Snyderverse thing. Because, admittedly, I am a Marvel guy. I am a Marvel fanatic. And I don't say that because of the DCEU. We've talked about this before. Miguel and I were Marvel fans from the time we were like 2 years old. I mean, like, long before the DCEU in the 90s and early 2000s. We were Marvel people. Like, all the Marvel video games, all the Marvel action figures, the Marvel comics. Like, we were Marvel people before Marvel was Marvel Studios. So, like, I do have a bias towards those characters, but I was never a Superman guy. I would never really liked any version of Superman. I was like, I mean, it was okay, but I never cared about Superman. I loved Batman. But I also wasn't a huge Batfleck fan. I mean, he was fine, but he wasn't my favorite. Zack Snyder's Justice League made me like Henry Cavill Superman. I became a Superman fan after Henry Cavill. Even Batfleck, he grew on me eventually. So it's just, it's really disappointing to see characters that it's like I've finally grown accustomed to and I've finally liked just getting thrown to the wolves, you know? And it's a shame. I am keeping up with the I know the chat's moving and we appreciate it. Please be sure to leave us a like if you haven't already. J-Dead says they can bring in all the female superheroes while keeping the male ones. There's plenty of movies that can be made. The whole thing of having only one or the other is idiotic. I think so too. I don't understand why. I really don't get why it has to be this one or the other thing, and it has to be this, like, who knows. I don't know. I just don't get it. It kind of bothers me, you know. It bothers me. So I don't know. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, what are you gonna
do? So let me check the chat real quick. J-Dad also says, "You're right, Miguel. Excited, but not going to keep my hopes up. If they bring Brendan Ross Superman, I'm going to take 3 steps off of Tuesday Night Live."
Fucking hell.
Oh, man.
I love that.
Oh, boy. J-Dad also says, if you look at comics / graphic novel sales, I can't talk, it's about a 65/35% split, more males than females. They're literally ignoring their base fandom. I don't even think it's a male. I don't think of it as a male female thing. I think of it as like a story, like everything. Like, I try to put, when I watch a movie, I try to put everything through the lens of, like, is this a good story? Are you telling a good story? That's why, as a Halloween fan, I love Halloween Kills. As a movie fan, I'm like, Halloween Kills wasn't all that great, because it's how you tell the story. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't think they're doing a service to their story. You know, I don't think they're servicing themselves. I really don't.
No, I think they're shooting themselves in the foot.
I do too.
3 times over. 3 times over to next Tuesday. Yeah.
So that's kind of our thoughts on the Flash. I am excited for the Flash. I know everything that we just said makes it sound like I'm not. I am excited for the Flash. I think it's going to be one of the better DCEU films. But I'm just worried about what comes after, and I'm worried about the future and where we go from here. So next on our top 10 list is Morbius. There's not very much even else to say about Morbius other than I can't wait for it to come out. My biggest question, and honestly, it's kind of sad, because I think I'm more excited to see Morbius's, like, implication for the MCU than I am to actually see Michael Morbius himself, you know. Jared Leto looks great. as Morbius. He's ripped, he's jacked. I think it looks like it's going to be one of the better Sony films in terms of like the look and the feel. The question with Morbius is, will this be a part of the Andrew Garfield universe tied to Venom? He mentions Venom. He mentions there's the Oscorp Tower in the trailer. But my only thing is we see Keaton's Vulture, that character, and we also see very clearly, and I've seen a few people try to dispute this. There's no disputing it. It's Tobey's Spider-Man on the wall when he's in the prison jumpsuit in the first trailer.
I think that it's. I mean, I've read reports that it's like just a mistake that they just decided to do it. They didn't have anything else, but I don't know. That could just be, a red herring at that point. Question though is, did Michael Keaton, like, was it confirmed that he's playing as the Vulture?
He's in the trailer, so I mean, like,
he's in the trailer, but all he said was, "Hey, Doc." Like they didn't say anything about him being the Vulture.
I don't know.
You never know.
I don't know. So Morbius is going to be a good one just to see kind of its implications, but it does look like a really cool film. It looks like a cool, I really like his look. I like the vampire look. I like that we're starting to bring some more of the vampire characters like Blade, like Morbius, into the MCU, and that's kind of a whole other pool that we're starting to pull from. That's going to open the door for a whole lot of different things, and it's going to be pretty cool. And again, my biggest question is, what universe is this actually going to be a part of? Where is this going to fall in the in kind of the grand scheme of the MCU and the multiversal story we're trying to tell here? Because this is an MCU, a Sony film. This isn't a Disney film, but there's very clearly some obvious like ties to everything else that's going on with the multiverse saga.
Yeah, I get that, but it's still kind of tough to figure out where this movie plays into the grander scheme of things. Because because you know why? Because mainly due to No Way Home's post-credit scene with Venom. Like, it's like they all went back. So like, all the questions of a possible Morbius and
they all went back for now.
Yeah, it's all like
Madness looks like it's gonna.
Oh yeah, no kidding. But like, and right now it seems like Morbius is not going to be confronting Blade at all, and that was something I was really excited for.
Well, I think he will in the future. I think we'll get that in the future.
You think so?
Well, I think we'll probably get a Blade, Morbius, Daredevil, Spider-Man kind of whole because they all kind of fall in that same. They're all kind of in the same pool,
Yeah.
So I'm sure we'll get that at some point. Next one on our list, we are moving right along. We have 4 films left. At number 4 in our most anticipated films of the year is Jurassic World Dominion. I've always been a huge Jurassic World fan, or a Jurassic Park fan, excuse me. The original is probably in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. And this, from what I understand, it is going to be a kind of a conclusion of the franchise. And it makes sense because, to be honest, where do you go from here? John Hammond's greatest, Dr. Malcolm, Ian Malcolm, Jeff Goldblum's character, his warning from the original, his stark warning of, life will find a way. This will get out. Like, you can't contain this. You think you can, but it's not possible. You can't contain life. Essentially, his biggest fear has kind of come to fruition. It's come to life. This is the dinosaurs are out. They're in the earth. And one of the cool things, obviously, this shot is in kind of the flashback portion that we saw in the prequel video on YouTube. You can go check that out now. But one of the cool things about Jurassic World Dominion is A, the original legacy cast coming back, and B, also seeing the dinosaurs interact like in our world and how governments are going to respond to that, how humanity is going to respond to having to deal with the fact that we are not top predator anymore. We're not the top of the food chain, you know.
Yeah.
I'm super excited to see Sam Neill and Laura Dern and Jeff Goldblum back again. So I'm super stoked for Jurassic World Dominion. So what are your thoughts, Miguel?
I'm excited to see how they're going to be able to conclude the whole franchise, because every single movie they've created, every single movie that's came out with Jurassic World, they there's always been some new type of discovery with dinosaurs, and they've tried to implement it in every single one of the new movies, and I find that really interesting. So I'm excited to see what new discoveries they want to implement into this movie. One of which is, so it's been common now, but it hasn't been. It's been a while since the movie came out to talk about it, but we've kind of came to the conclusion that maybe dinosaurs had feathers or hair, like they weren't just scaly beast roaming the earth. Like they were most likely
birds.
Yeah, birds. So that was a pretty big discovery, and I can't wait to see how they implement that discovery in the movie.
I feel like Sam Neill in the original one, he's like running like a flock of birds in the wind. Like, you know what I mean? Like how he like acts when they're like hiding behind the when they're watching the I don't even know what kind. I'm not a dinosaur name person. I can't name them. But what they're running towards him, and the T-Rex comes out of the woods and eats one of them and whatever. And he says that, and moving on. So Art says the OG Jurassic Park is probably in my top 20. I love seeing that movie on my Direct TV Guide lineup. Yeah, man, it's a great movie. And he also says he's excited for the legacy characters. Me as well, my friend. Next on our list, one of my definitely both of us, one of our most anticipated movies is The Batman with Robert Pattinson. We've talked about this a whole lot too. The Batman is going to be kind of my single piece of hope for the DCEU. Whether or not it's connected to the Joker universe is kind of irrelevant for me at this point, because I think this looks like it's going to be strong enough to stand on its own. From what we've heard, this will not be the end of Robert Pattinson's Batman. This is going to be an ongoing, its own separate ongoing universe, on Earth 6123597, whatever. I don't, you know what I mean? They have all the different names and numbers for the different Earths, different universes. But the Batman's definitely going to be a good one, man. The trailers look incredible. It looks dark. I was going to ask you this. Did you see about its rating?
No, what is it?
It got a PG-13 rating. But apparently the only reason it got a PG-13 rating was because there was no nudity. Like, not enough nudity and not enough F-bombs. I was like, what?
Like, yeah, I guess you can have bloody movies. Oh, heaven forbid there's some titties out there. Rated R.
Slap that R-rated label on it.
Yep.
So yeah, man, the Batman's going to be remarkable. Really, these top three, what more do you say about them? Because, there's so much that we have said in the past, and so much that we will say over the coming months. So the Batman is definitely in our top three, and I think Robert Pattinson's going to do a phenomenal job, a fantastical, dastical, crastical job. I think he's going to be great. And at first, I'll admit it, I will 100% admit it. I was skeptical when he was cast. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I was like, I just think Twilight. I think Edward Cullen when I think of him, but I think he's a much more diverse actor than people give him credit for.
I agree with that, because we all kind of like, it's the same thing. It's like the Zac Efron thing. When I thought of Zac Efron for a little bit, I thought of him as Troy Bolton in High School Musical. Like, that's all I knew him as. But then as he kept doing more and more movies, I started recognizing from all these other types of projects. And now I primarily think of him as what's his name in The Greatest Showman? That's when I think of Jack Efron. I think of that.
Yeah. He was great in The Greatest Show. The Greatest Showman was a good movie.
It's a great
It was
movie.
good.
Yeah,
It was really good. I genuinely enjoyed The Greatest Showman. So yeah, man. The Jurassic Park is where I learned that frogs can change their gender. Is that
good
real?
for them?
Is that legit? Is that a real thing?
Good for them. I'm not going to fact check that, but good for them.
Interesting. And J-Dead says Robert is top tier actor, TBH. Yeah, man. I don't know. He's moving up on the list. Like some of what we've seen in the Batman trailers, I'm like,
nah. The movie, the devil all the time. Robert Pattinson playing as
I know. I still need to watch that.
Fucked up pastor. Yeah.
You've told me about that movie quite a few times, and
that movie
I still need to check that one out.
That movie is dark.
Yeah. Well, and I love that this is going to be I think from what I understand, the Batman it's not year one Batman, but it's also not seasoned Batman either. It's kind of in between. He's been Batman for a little bit, but he's not like, he's not going to, I think his emotions are going to get the best of him. I don't expect him to win at the end of this movie. I don't expect him to be, I don't think the conclusion of this movie and the climax of this movie is going to be like the heroic, he's Batman and he saves the day and he does what needs to be done. Like, no, I think this is going to be dark. I think this universe is going to be a very dark, very 7-ish version of
nobody wins in this movie.
And I dig that. I don't mind him losing at the end. I don't mind Batman completely getting the shaft in this movie, because that's going to be part of his character development. That's going to be part of what's going to make him more of the seasoned detective-esque Batman that we get, like the Arkham City or like the Arkham games, and that would be cool. Even if we're moving towards the Arkham games, like that would be dope. That would be really cool, because those were dark and gritty, and I really enjoyed Arkham City was my favorite. I loved that game, man. I played that through quite a few times. So definitely going to be one of our most anticipated of the year. Our top two, baby, top two. In second place, no, not really second place. We're excited for all of these. Halloween Ends October 14th, 2022. Yeah, Art, I saw where earlier you were like, Halloween Ends is going to be number one. No, it's not. I mean, it's in top two. What do I say about Halloween Ends that we haven't said already? And I do want to save some. Actually, there's a lot we haven't said. There's a really big discussion that we're kind of gearing up to have on Halloween Ends. Coming up very soon. I'm not sure when. It won't be our next episode, but it'll probably be in the next 3 or 4. Miguel, your thoughts just briefly on Halloween Ends. I know we talked about it quite a bit throughout the show.
I am excited, but also cautious. I am cautiously excited about it.
Yes, me too. And I think this is going to be one that, we talked earlier about, this is going to be one where I need to temper and I'm talking about like me specifically. I need to temper my expectations, because my expectations were through the roof for Halloween Kills. I mean, I was thinking Halloween Kills was going to be like the monumental, I thought it was going to be this like the Avengers Infinity War of the Halloween franchise. And it wasn't for me. It wasn't. I loved it. And there are things that I love, and I've seen it 3 times. And I've enjoyed it, I think, more every single time I've watched it. But I'm excited to see how this ends. I'm excited to see the end of this storyline. Again, my hope, I've said this all along, and I'm going to die on this hill. I think that Michael and Laurie should die killing each other. I really think that should be the end. That should be the end of this storyline. Then, you know what? Reboot it. Do a sequel to H4. Do a sequel to H6. Do whatever else you want to do. Do H3. Make a TV series. I don't care what you want to do. But Michael and Laurie need to die killing each other. So So that's my thoughts on Halloween Ends. Jade says HN's number 2. Y'all trying to catch that unsub? You better not unsub Jade for that. I'm excited, man. You come on. I'm hype. I'm super hype. Art says yes. So the Ox says, unfortunately, I'm going to be trying to go till Halloween Ends without watching the trailer or anything. Oof, that generates expectations. So I'll be off YouTube right around when they start filming. Dang, man, that's going to be tough. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, man. There's no way. There is no way.
Yeah. Plus, we're a podcast, so we have to do it.
Exactly. And we enjoy talking about it anyways. That's a whole portion of what we do in our whole show. So number 1 on the list for the both of us, undoubtedly, is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Yeah, Jay-Dead, love you, buddy. Love you. He says, nah, you're all stuck with me. I know, buddy. We appreciate you being here, and we appreciate all of you guys that chill with us and that hang with us each and every show. So here, again, in our next episode, in episode number 58, we are going to do a whole discussion on the rumors of the cameos and the rumors of the some of the major plot points that are supposed to happen in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Some of those cameos you see here in this fan poster. This is not an official poster. We see Loki and Sylvie. We see all 3 Spider-Men. We see a dream casting, which is that is not going to be the real casting of the Fantastic Four. We see Kang, we see Charlie Cox's Daredevil, Wanda. The rumor mill about Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, I didn't think anything could top Spider-Man No Way Home in terms of the sheer amount of rumors and the amount of speculation involving it. But Multiverse of Madness is starting to top it in terms of literally, it sounds like Kevin Feige ripped the kitchen sink off of the wall in Marvel Studios and just threw it at like their board of everything, and it shattered in a million pieces. Like, they are throwing everything that has ever happened with that Marvel sticker slapped on it at this movie. And it's gonna be a doozy. What is that from Ace Ventura? A doozy. It's gonna be a doozy. Yeah. And we're gonna talk about all of those cameos, all of the rumored cameos. I'm not gonna get too much into it right now. But Miguel, what are your thoughts on Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness?
I think there's generated so much more speculations and eyes since its announcement and Investors Day. So I think that, and throughout even after No Way Home, when we got the trailer and we saw like a small little sliver of what's going on, like, fuck, I don't think the trailer really does this movie justice at this point, because from what we've heard with all these leaks, like, I know there's more to come. And we still haven't yet to talk about the evil Doctor Strange and how that implicates everything, because now we have a variant Doctor Strange. So the variants are still out there. So that's what I mean. Like, the multiverse is still taking an effect.
Yeah, and I see you, J-Dead. J-Dead says Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness is going to be epic if they keep it serious and dark. I hope they don't cheese it up. I was actually just reading a series of tweets from My Time to Shine Hello, which is a new one of those anonymous leakers on Twitter that's got a great track record. Grace Randolph, who has an incredible track record. Just kind of this whole stream about Multiverse of Madness. If what they're saying is true, J-Dead, I think this is going to be the equivalent of a Marvel horror movie. People will die. Wanda is good. I feel like the Joker in The Dark Knight. People will die. But Wanda, there's been a lot of discussion in terms of, like, is it going to be the sinister evil Doctor Strange variant that's the main villain? Is it going to be Shuma Gorath? Is it going to be I forget who's the other
Mordo?
No, not Mordo, or there's another Shuma Gorath type villain. No. I forget who. I forget. It's slipping my mind. But there's been discussion of who will be the main villain, and I think it's been very clear amongst a lot of people Wanda is going to be the main villain in this movie. Wanda is going to be the reason so much of this is happening. And I do think it's going to be a perfect storm in turn, like what happened in Loki, what happened in WandaVision, what happened in No Way Home, what's about to happen in this. It's going to be a perfect storm of things that contribute to the multiverse in madness, that contribute to this Secret Wars. The different timelines are going to start colliding, and things are going to start slipping into chaos, which is dope. So I do think that this is going to be dark. I think it's going to be crazy, man.
I think it was a fan-made poster, if it was like an official poster, but it was like it was Doctor Strange's Multiverse of Madness, but it was like Sam Raimi's Evil Dead original poster. Yeah, that shit looked dope. It's scary.
Wanda, like if you guys think the OG Evil Dead poster where she's like coming out of the ground or whatever, it's Wanda coming out of the ground, and it's like all the the multiverse. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man, that's our list. That's our top 10 most anticipated movies of the year. Multiverse of Madness, The Batman, Halloween Ends, Jurassic World, The Flash, Thor, Love and Thunder, Across the Spider-Verse, so many different films. It's going to be a big year, not only for movies, but for TV. It's going to be a big year for fandom and for entertainment in general. So definitely you want to keep subscribed to this channel. There's so many people. Milo thinks it's going to be a great year.
Yeah, you heard that.
He's excited, man. He's like, man, this is going to be great. Let's get going. He's saying, get me a camera. He's like, get me a mic and get me a camera. So guys, next time on episode number 58, not sure what day episode 58 is going to debut. Might be Monday. Kind of depends on some of this weather too. Again, Kentucky's got some crazy weather coming in over the weekend, a pretty big winter storm. So things are going to depend on the weather. Things are going to depend on what's going on this week. But the next episode 58 of the main show, will be on all of our predictions and all of the rumors for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So guys, please, that's going to do it for us. We're almost 2 hours into this crazy stream. Thank you to everybody who hung out with us all morning. This has been awesome. J-Dead, take care, guys. Great stream. See you guys later, man. This has been awesome. Please leave this video a like if you're watching after the fact. Please leave us a comment. Let us know what are your top 10 most anticipated movies of the year. Please, if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok at We Talk the Movies. And we'll see you guys real soon. I guess Miguel's ditching out early.
Am I?
Did you leave?
No, I'm still here.
Oh, it's going. You're cutting out. It's going black and it's spinning.
Oh, my bad, man. Am I still good though? All right. Well, this is my piece.
You're fine. And... He's saying peace. He's out. All right, guys. See you. See you. Bye.
See you guys.